Greetings. What's up? Happy Friday to you. It's Deborah. And something that I have found a lot of my clients and people I talk with struggle with is often they say, well, Deborah, I don't have the problem of setting boundaries because I talk a lot about letting go of boundary setting. But they say, I don't have the problem setting boundaries. I have the problem that I don't set boundaries. And when we dig a little bit deeper, we find that it's because they feel that if they do set boundaries, they'll lose the friendship, they'll lose the relationship, and they don't want to do that because people that I work with tend to be connectors. So often we care so much about each other. We're so aware of the fact that we are all connected, and we're so wanting to live in that space of connection that often the opposite happens. And then we have what we call closet disruptors, which is where you're actually hiding from sharing with anyone your true message, unfiltered and unwatered down, because you're worried that you'll lose connection with them. So if you've ever had this challenge, could you raise your hand in the comments? Because I want others who see this to know that they're not alone. This is a common challenge. Everyone who has a disruptive message, which by the way is pretty much everybody, we all have something unique that only we can deliver for the world. But everyone who's aware of their disruptive message has struggled with this at some point in time. Do I share it? Do I keep it to myself? Do I let other people know really what I think? Or do I keep it more PC? Right? This is a struggle that we all have, especially if you're someone who wants to connect closely to others and you want to have close relationships and you suspect, or you don't even know, but you might think that maybe, just maybe, those people will not agree with or accept the difference of opinion that you have, your different perspective. So then this becomes something that this fear starts to grow and grow and grow until finally you don't share your truth. You water it down. You share a little snippet of it. You maybe even just, stop an idea that maybe you had to create a business or to build a movement or to maybe expand your business to being something more meaningful to you. All these things can get shut down simply from our fear of being disconnected from others, which is different from rejection. Rejection is something we fear as well, but even more so, it's like, your family, your friends, the people who are your colleagues, your team, what will they think of you if you share this wacky out there idea, right? So this is something that a lot of people have been challenged with. I know I've been challenged with it. And there have been many times where I have either suppressed or watered down or only partially shared a teeny little bit of my message. And I don't know that means... I don't think it's a bad thing to filter sometimes. I don't think it's a bad thing to incrementally share things. First of all, we can only process but so much at a time. So I really think, saying to your spouse, by the way, I'm pregnant, I lost my job, and my mom is coming to live with us in the same sentence might not be the best idea, right? You might want to step out that information, right? But at some point in time, we need to be careful that we don't water down completely our message or just completely not share it just because we're worried about what people will think. There's a couple reasons for this. I actually like using my message as a filter for friends anyway, because what happens is that the people who really can get with your message and can get with your passion, they're going to love you regardless of whether they agree or not. They're going to still appreciate that you're standing for something. And even if they themselves don't agree with it, I guarantee you that if they meet somebody who's looking for what you share or what you do, they're gonna pass on the information. Well, that's not my thing, but my friend Deborah or my friend Rob, that's what they do. That's his jam. He can do that all day. So you should talk to him. He can help you out with that, right? So they can still be someone who supports you and your work and your mission, even if they themselves personally don't agree. This is very common, right? So that's one thing to think about. The second thing to think about is that when you don't share your message, how do you feel? How do you show up when you don't really truly express how you genuinely perceive something? usually not great. Usually it's a diminished version of yourself. Usually it's a more shrunk in approach than full, open, and ready to like take charge as a leader. Okay, so leadership is it's partially a skill set, it's partially an attitude and a mindset that you will build over your entire life. And this is kind of one of those areas where you want to build this as a foundational area, is to really just get comfortable in saying how you truly feel and saying what you really are about. And you don't have to be, oftentimes disruptors feel like they have to be in that rebel state where it's very caustic and abrasive, or maybe not abrasive. Sometimes it's just very confrontational. And it doesn't have to be. It can be if if that's your style, if you like doing it, fine, but you don't have to be. There are some incredibly disruptive people. Think about Mother Teresa. Now, it's true, I haven't really like actually chatted with her, so I don't know necessarily how she presented things, but overall, she had a very non-abrasive energy about her, right? It was very kind of mild and soothing kind of presence that she brought. But that lady was incredibly disruptive, right? So it doesn't have to come in the format of a rebel. You can do this many different ways. So I want you to think about that. And I would love for you to share if there has ever been a time when you have had a message, you've had something that you believed in and you cared deeply about, but you didn't share it because you wanted to maintain a relationship and you were worried, maybe warranted, maybe not warranted, you were worried that the other person would not think well of you, would end the relationship, that you would hurt the other person, or maybe even a group of people. I know for me, every time I go through an identity shift, I go through this and I do offend or put off some people. But more importantly, I attract and magnetize more of the people that I really actually want to spend time with, the people who actually are going to be my biggest supporters, even if they don't agree necessarily with what I'm saying or doing. Good morning, Seth. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you here live with me. Okay, so coming back to the idea of being really accepting of your message and also not judging yourself or not judging others. This is the other side of it too, is often we can be our own worst critics and we can judge ourselves and tell ourselves this is a dumb idea, I shouldn't share it with anyone, even when other people aren't judging us. And I know a client of mine just recently experienced this, where she was so worried for all of these years about sharing her message. She didn't share it. She only shared bits and pieces of it. And she didn't want to talk publicly about it that much. And then she realized that she did want to talk about it, but she was just feeling like, it's okay if I talk about it with perfect strangers, but I don't want to talk about it with people who actually know me. Oh no, not my team or my friends or my family. No, that's just way too close to home. But amazingly enough, recently she shared her message in its pure, unwatered down form, and she was met with amazing reviews and feedback, and her team loved it and shared it, and she's even got people talking to her about TED Talks now, and it's all from her overcoming this obstacle or overcoming this challenge of feeling like she was going to disconnect from others when she shared her true message. And actually the opposite happened, where it's really actually igniting a fire in the audience and is helping her to even form stronger and closer bonds with her team, which is the opposite of what she was afraid was going to happen. So I just want you to think about this and see if there's anywhere where you are playing small. Is there anywhere where you're trying to step outside of your zone of genius and be something or present yourself in such a way so that you can maintain friendships, so that you can maintain relationships or acceptance that's not really serving you or them? Okay. And it's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer it here. But I hope that, this weekend and moving forward, you take this idea and this concept of being yourself and understand that you don't have to be abrasive. You don't have to be mean or tough or confrontational. You can just be yourself and just share your message, just like, you share something that you're proud of that your kids did or whatever it is. It can be very, very light and very, very positive and can still be very magnetic to the people who really are going to support you. And at the end of the day, I think that what matters is that you just get that message out. Even if no one supports you, you getting that message out is going to be transformative for you. If you can see the radiance that came off of my client when she just was like, I nailed it and it went really well. And she was so happy at the positive impact that she made for herself of just getting her message out there. And not just once, but hopefully over time, continually getting it out there is how you change the world. It's how you live the purpose that you are here to live, and you make the impact that you are here to make. All right, so I hope that's uplifted you and inspired you today. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Much love. Bye.